What up, world? What it do, world? What it do?
Mm-hmm.
How y'all doing this morning, afternoon, wherever it is, nighttime, whatever it is, where y'all watching this shit at, whatever time frame y'all watching this in. But how y'all doing, man? Welcome to the Twiinz channel. We are in with another video. Today's video, we are going to be talking about weed and why we smoke it, why we smoke it so much, why we feel weed is important to us, why, just why?
Oh, why?
Why they got what that Jadakiss song? So yeah, the big thing is why. Why when it comes why so much and why we smoke it. Let alone why smoke blunts.
Why blunts too?
We gonna go into the whole thing. So kickstart everything. I didn't really start smoking weed until I graduated college. Now when I say I didn't really, you lit the wrong side, brother. Oh no, you didn't.
I'm about to, man. You scared the hell out of me.
See, we gonna get to that part too. Lighting the right side and the wrong side. But high school wasn't really smoking like that. I probably experimented. And when I say experiment, I probably hit the blunt once, twice throughout high school. Senior year came, I started to get a little more familiar with it. Not smoking it, but just familiar in ideas and, you know, what it really is about, stuff like that.
Tell me what you used to do before you smoked weed, though.
I'm gonna get to all that. I'm gonna get to all that. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna get to all that, man. We're gonna get to all that. I gotta start with the rundown how this weed shit got started and why niggas is where they at with the weed.
That shit funny.
So, got to once I graduated high school, went to Central Arizona. That's when I really started to find myself smoking weed a lot more. I had an ex in high school that smoked weed, but I didn't even know she was smoking weed. On a real note, she didn't tell me until I'm gonna get to that. But went to Central Arizona. That's when I really started to smoke weed. Really started to smoke, let alone blunts. No. Yeah, blunts. But when I got to Central Arizona, this is how I really got started with weed and how to smoke it. There's a dude I knew, and he smoked his weed out of apples. Yeah, he smoked his weed out of apples. And how to do it? You take the stem off the apple, get a little pin, whatever, knife or something, and you stab a hole through it, right? Right, okay. And then you take a side, and then you stab another hole through it. So now you got a hole here where you, and then you got the hole where you put the weed at the top, and you can, right through the apple. The funny thing about it is that you can kind of taste the apple.
Apple bomb?
You know, like apple bomb at the end of the day. So that's what the niggas was starting off with. Smoking apples. That was going on for quite some time. I'm talking about apples after apples. Like we would go to the cafeteria.
I'm fucking done.
We'll be going like everywhere, just grabbing apples, just stuffing them, just having stuffed like apples. That way we ain't gotta worry about it later on. We got some fresh apples, put them in the fridge, all type of shit. So that's what was going on. It was big apple bomb smoking. Then, as I was in Central Arizona at that time, that was my whole time of being there was 6 months. For the first semester, I was smoking apple bombs. Then I went back and left. In the last video when I was explaining how I went to Central Arizona, Chandler Gilbert and all this, I'm about to go into it within the weed though. So now I left and went to Chandler Gilbert. This is the time I done left and went and lived with my girl, my bullshit that I had got into. So I'm living with my ex at the time. My old ex. And this is when I come to really understanding, like, oh, she was smoking weed. And then she would tell me, like, yeah, like, back then, like, I'll get my little smokes in before you come through, when we kick it, woo, wah, wah. Obviously, I really didn't know. I was too energetic and too, like, I mean, it ain't like I'm still not, but I'm just saying, like, I was too all over the place, you know, not really focusing in on, you know, you high? I wasn't really worried about that. Let alone I was, you know, I'm trying to be with you. At the end of the day. So that's how I got started. So once I'm with her and I'm at Chandler Gilbert, that's when I'm starting to realize how to smoke blunts, let alone swishers. Swishers. So niggas was smoking swishers. Right there at that time, I was going to Chandler Gilbert. I was smoking swishers. Niggas was learning how to roll up. And at that time, you know, at these times when you learn how to roll up and you got a girl, you know, you gonna be doing what you need a lot of roll up sometimes. You know? I was rolling up a lot of the blood, so it got me practice. I looked at it for me as practice. I was like, I ain't really tripping. Like it's gonna be more practice for me because obviously you know how to do this shit. So more practice for me, more practice for me. So as time going on with this smoking weed shit, I go to MCC. I'm still smoking weed, and I'm leaving Arizona. I go to Cypress College. I'm still smoking weed, and then I get down to Pierce College when I'm at Meridian Point with my bro. He had Northridge, he had C-Sun. Now, before I let him jump into it, how he told his story, I'm gonna go ahead and continue just a little bit more on everything. Now, just to backtrack a little bit. When I was in AZ for the time being, when I was smoking weed, this is when I'm learning how to really, really get down with it. You know, break it down. You know, roll it up. You know, smoke it. I'm really starting to really do this shit on my own type shit. So it got to the point where I was like really like becoming like a real piehead. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, like this smoking weed shit is really like fuck with it type shit. So before we go into the deeper whys, we gonna have to tell us like again. I'm gonna let my bro tell his side on his story on with his weed and all that shit. So, but leading up to his story, I got to Meridian, got to Cali. He was at C-Sun. I went to Pierce, and I brought the weed to him. And this is where it go from there. And still smoking swishers.
Yeah, so like bro said, came to Cali, and that's when he brought the weed to your boy. Never smoked weed in high school. I think I experienced one time with bro, and we was in Vegas. No, I don't think you was playing sports that time, not that year. Were you playing sports that year when you came to Vegas? Yeah, you. No,
I was.
Were you? Not the tournament. Not the tournament. I was in high school. Remember, it was a high school tournament.
I probably didn't play AAU that year. Then
okay, so look, it was around high school senior year. We had a high school tournament where high schools come around. It wasn't like AAU, so we got a chance to go to Vegas our senior year. I was excited, dope. You know what I'm saying? I felt like our high school at the time was really progressing and doing some shit. After sophomore year and junior year, we were getting a lot of recognition. So going to Vegas was kind of big for us. But we're not talking about basketball. We're talking about weed. So I'm out there in Vegas doing the whole basketball shebang, and bro hit me up talking about, brother, come to Vegas, watch you play. I'm like, nigga, what?
Oh, now I know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah, he was like, you about to come to Vegas, watch you play. I'm like, oh shit, like my brother about to come in town, nigga, it's about to be on. And it was on like a motherfucker. I bullshit you not.
Oh shit,
so, I remember one game, somebody that came up to me was like, yo, brother smoke weed? I'm like, why you say that? He was like, because he looked high as hell in the stands. I'm like,
real quick on the pause, because now that you refreshing my memory, I do remember going out to Vegas and I was in a hotel room right before.
I got my wallet stolen that tournament too. Man, it was like a Turkish something. It started like a Turkish something like that. I don't know, but it was after a dude, well-known dude in the basketball world. It was a tournament named after him in Vegas. High school was going to and play. I lost my wallet that tournament. I was fucking hot. But you talking about weed though.
But yeah,
go ahead, talk about that.
No, but just to go hurry and get back to your story, that was a time where I was in Vegas, but I skipped out on AAU that year, and I was smoking, and I was in the bathroom smoking and blowing the smoke out the window right before I left to go to his game.
Let me tell you why. I think I know why. This is why, bro. I don't think bro was he was playing sports. His sport wasn't in. I don't think his sport was in yet, because just to let y'all know, when I left Arizona my sophomore year after Campo Verde, I had came to El Camino Real and redid the 10th grade over. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't because I was dumb. And if you are dumb, then so be it. You know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
That part.
So don't feel disgraced. You want to pass, you want to graduate, do what the fuck you gotta do to graduate.
Facts.
So my situation was more so to just have a better GPA. You know what I'm saying? Look good for the college scouts and bullshit like that. So that's why I held back myself. And plus, my sophomore year at Campo Verde, ass. I don't think I had the GPA to play because I wasn't playing that year. So my motivation and all that shit was not there. I was not involved in basketball. I don't think I can practice like that. I don't think I wasn't involved in the team. Like I made the team and everything, but because I transferred from St. Mary's to Campo Verde, I'm about to sit out a year. I hate that fucking rule. We are nowhere near in the same fucking region of these schools, and we still got to sit out. That's bullshit. But I think nowadays they finding loopholes to do that shit. Yeah. But to continue on with the weed, so my senior year, his freshman year in college at Central Arizona, that's how it went. That's how he started smoking weed. That's
I was in track.
Yeah, exactly.
I was in track.
So,
that's why. That's why I wasn't playing ball. Because I got a track scout.
You was already in college too.
That's why.
So that's why.
Yeah,
so,
and I was. Yup.
That's how. To get back to the story, so bro's in his college on his track scholarship, and I'm in my last year, and we in Vegas. Blah blah blah. So yeah, someone come up to me like, "Yo, your brother smoke weed?" I'm like, "Oh no." Like, what you mean? You look high as hell in the stands, nigga. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Next thing you know, after the game, we all separate, go mingle with the fam and do extra. So I'm going with my mama and my sister and my brother. At this time, I don't know if moms knew or pops knew, whatever, but just know this was the start.
Moms knew, and pops and moms found out about me smoking weed when I was in Central Arizona because my moms came down to get my car, and we had just hotboxed my car the night before she had came and get my car the morning of, and then that's how the whole shebang went. So
yeah, so I'm getting phone calls talking about, yo, brother, and they like, you need to talk to you. I'm like,
yeah, that whole.
You know how stupid I look talking to a nigga that's damn near me, telling not to smoke weed, and we not even in the same state, we not even around each other to even get that push. Be like, hey man, you ain't got, come on man.
Let alone this is the time we was even like having our own identity too, like trying to create our own.
We've been creating our own identity for like 18 years, 20 some years, like
20 some. I say 20 years. I say
20 years flat. We've been literally creating our own identity, even when bro came to college. But to continue with the story, I know I'm losing track. I'm sorry about that. So we in Vegas. Never smoked weed in high school, but I'm about to experiment for the first time. Me and bro up in the hotel room, moms and them staying at. I think Leilani and mom went to go do something, and bro was just standing there like trying to get high, my nigga. Like, what's good, nigga? So, either we took mom's car and got hotboxed in there, or I do remember in the morning though, before we left, like when the tournament was over and shit, I was able to go back home with them, I think. So in the morning before we went back, nigga, me and bro in the bathroom getting high in the apple and shit, but I was really high the night before. I think we had just played a game. It was our last game. And bro was like, trying to smoke? I'm just like, whatever, my nigga. Like, it's whatever. I'm with my bro, nigga. I really don't give a fuck. So, we in the car. We driving around the parking lot trying to find a cool spot to smoke. And we do. Nigga, next thing you know, we in the back. Hot boxing with a whole ass apple. Like, that shit was the day, my nigga. That shit was the day. Nigga was so high that day. Like, I literally almost was like, where the fuck are we every now and then? I used to be thinking like, nigga, where are we? But that was that. Moving forward, bro did like, what, you did a year at Central?
I did a semester.
Did a semester at Central and left.
Did a year at Chandler Gilbert, and then did a semester at MCC, left, and then did Cypress College.
And all this was in the year of my senior year before he goes to Cypress, because my first year of college, like I told you on the last video, I was a walk-on at CSUN. And bro didn't come to like my second semester, I think, because that's when you said you went to Cypress.
Yeah.
So when he went to Cypress, living with our uncle in Anaheim, man, bro used to hit me up and be like, I'm about to come down there. I'm like, all right. I'm about to come down there. And I don't know if y'all ever drove from Anaheim, from those that live in California. I don't know if you ever drove from Northridge ever to Anaheim, but that is a push. That is a fucking push. And bro used to do that almost every other weekend, if not every weekend, just to come down and get weed because he knew somebody down here. Reason why he knew somebody down here, because when bro used to come visit, you know, the people that I knew in high school, they ended up knowing him. The people he knew in high school, they ended up knowing me. So it was just like that. So he knew somebody that sell weed. He used to come down and get the weed. One time, I had my own. I was living in my own apartment my freshman year, so I had my own apartment. So bro, come down. He be like, "Hey, bro, can I stay tonight? Cause I don't feel like driving back." I'm like, "Nigga, no, duh, nigga." So you already know what happened that night. Bro, rolling up, getting high and shit. I'm just looking at this nigga rolling up. I'm just looking at this nigga like you really smoking weed right now? Like you really smoking weed now? He like, yeah, man, like I'm smoking weed and. It's like, fuck it, bro. Let me hit that shit. So that night, we literally smoked 6 blunts, Swishers, at that.
Oh yeah.
That whole night, just watching Family Guy.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first night I really sat down and just got high with the bro, freshman year. And after that, it's just been that smoking weed. And I was very much of a square in high school and a little bit in college because it was basketball, do some schoolwork, rest, hang out, but it was a typical shit that, you know, most motherfuckers would do, you know. I didn't hear about athletes really being involved with smoking weed until college, and then I'm over here realizing that motherfuckers in high school smoking weed. I think like one player on my team, but like motherfuckers was getting high in high school, but me, I didn't have access, didn't know nobody. Plus, I wasn't really the most social motherfucker in high school either. So, it was actually a great turnaround how I started smoking weed because bro smoked weed and he brought the weed. And he had a little thing. He was like, I told him, like, I don't smoke, like, I'm smoking weed, but I'm only smoking weed with you. Like, I'm not finna just go smoke weed with anybody. So, about a year, me and bro just getting high, doing our thing, going to school, playing sports. And I never realized how, I'm going to say important because it is important to us. When I was really getting high, you know, you really start opening your eyes to shit, realizing shit. And it got to a point where, like, my mind and my mentality was just like fuck it. Like, I'm realizing, like, motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Motherfuckers don't support the way they support. And it's just a lot of bad shit, negativity shit that I'm realizing and living through. And I felt that smoking weed was the only thing creating the positivity throughout the day because I'm relaxed, I'm feeling stress free, I'm not thinking about the bullshit. And one of the conclusions I came to, the reason why I'm gonna continue smoking weed, I don't want to worry about the bullshit, but at that time, you don't really understand that the bullshit don't go away. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you getting high, just because you doing what you doing to space out the bullshit don't mean it's gonna disappear. You gotta eventually deal with that shit. So it was a tough lesson at that time because I didn't really give a fuck about any consequences or any shit like that. You know, it got to a point where we about to get drug tested, and I was like, oh shit, like, damn, man. You talking? Like, it got to a point where we was getting drug tested, and I was like, oh shit, like, I'm about to probably fail. And I looked up, they told me I didn't have to take it. I don't know why. My prediction is because they knew eventually they was just gonna kick me off the team because it was like few months later, it was like, you're not on the team no more. And it wasn't because smoking weed, it was because of my GPA, supposedly. And I wanted to go talk to somebody about that shit, and they said, like, nah, you straight. But it is what it is. So now, still smoking weed, now I ain't playing ball, and, you know, life is starting to get a lot, excuse what I'm saying. God damn, I can't get my words right sometimes. But it definitely got difficult after getting kicked off the team because it was just like more politic bullshit. They bringing in somebody they can really adjust and work with, but they ain't got to worry about because they know motherfuckers that is trying to become something in this basketball shit, but got a spot on the team or a role on the team where they may not get that opportunity, but they may fuck around and outshine somebody, and that's dangerous. That's a threat to somebody. So I don't know what the deal was, and personally, I had a lot of anger. Straight from high school. and I never really found a proper way to deal with it other than smoke weed. Once I started smoking weed, you know, just a lot of bullshit, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of stress, a lot of worry, and like, what the fuck type shit. And, you know, I never got along with my coaches, never really been the best of teammate far as being able to talk to, you know what I'm saying? Like, on the court, you know, it might be like, okay, they might be cool off the court type shit, but come senior year, like, it was really, like, rare. I'm really talking to my teammate, like, not at all. Like, I had a class with a teammate, but that's about it. And like I said, I'm really antisocial. Now that I'm smoking, and since I've been smoking weed, it's just been me and my bro. College, we had a lot of ups and downs with weed because we would get money during the week so we can, you know, have some food in the house, have some shit that we need. And when you smoking weed, and let alone you start realizing you need this weed, shit, that money start going somewhere else. Less food, less this, less that. It's all about more weed. And it wasn't like no starving part. It wasn't like no starving point in our life where we was like starving. It was just points where in life where we just got nothing to eat like that. You know, we had to push it together, or we had to go a couple of days without eating, but we wasn't really like starving like that. But we was getting high for sure. We was definitely getting high. We had a neighbor, shout out to you, had the red card at the time. Cause how we was getting weed, we was picking up from the streets. We didn't know about that dispensary shit, cause motherfuckers had a weed card. So Cameron knew a homegirl that had the weed card. Neighbor had the weed card. So we using anybody we know. What happened?
Just a little quick thing of what we go through, man. Like, again, for this the first video, man, our Nana needs to be taken care of. We got a fucking nurse here that needs to help her do what she needs to do whenever. So she here, and I had to go help her out and get everything.
Yeah, so that's that. But I did detour a little bit, but I did get back on track with the high school. I'm at the point where I'm letting them know, like, after first year, that second year when I joined the team, that was the year like smoking weed was like kind of going up that year.
At Piers?
No, when I was at CSUN.
Oh, when you joined the team at CSUN?
Yeah, when I joined the team my sophomore year at CSUN, that's when smoking weed started going up because I realized teammates were smoking weed. Brody was always smoking weed. So, like I said, I've never been the most social dude, but you know, when you the new kid on the block, some people may feel like, shit, how can I get in? Trying to get in where I can fit in type shit. So, you know, I'm trying to be cool with everybody, but I'm not getting that mutual respect or love back. So I gotta, you know, be on my P's and Q's basically. So I don't really know who cool, who I can smoke, who I can kick it with, who all that shit. Came to find out, one dude that I knew since I was young, we was young, he was on the team, he smoked weed, didn't know that. So we used to go to his apartment, and crazy, his apartment was down the street, so we used to walk to that motherfucker crib all the time, get high. Sometimes we drive, because we didn't want to walk, but we go to his crib and get high. One of the teammates and one of the homies, shoot, still love to the homies, shit, I ain't got nothing but love for him still to this day. But after that, there was another teammate, he was getting weed, let alone he was coming around with like lots of weed. I thought this nigga was like damn near the weed man, low key. But he used to come through, smoke. Damn near probably smoke us out then. What you think? Smoke us out? He used to smoke us out. I ain't gonna bullshit. He used to smoke us out. You know what I mean? We didn't. I think it was
wasn't days where we've always had weed.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
niggas didn't always have weed. So
it was days where motherfuckers used to just have days where we lucked up and motherfucker get a hit and be like, you trying to smoke.
I put it like this too, because like within me coming to Cali and him started to smoke weed and all this shit, like you said, like we just started to just mingle with different people. I got to know his crowd. They got to know me, and
it all became all mutual.
It became a mutual thing of just smoking weed. Let alone we had like some mutual people that would really be down to smoke us out, and let alone we'll be down to smoke them out. Cause let alone be like good company and shit like that. So our apartment was damn near almost like the spot, nigga. Like our apartment was a spot to where it was just like niggas would come through, kick it. We played a game, nigga. We had
smoke.
Female homegirls come through, kick it. Nigga play the FIFA, nigga smoke, nigga kick it, watch some TV, whatever, nigga. Like
we used to get high all the
like
time.
Like Meridian was like the spot of like smoking weed. Like we used to have all types of people come through, and then like he said, like with his teammate smoking this out and shit like that, everything was just mutual. So it was just like those times was just really mutual and just like, hey nigga, like I smoke, you smoke, woo, I smoke you out, you smoke me out, woo, you smoke, we smoke together, put in on it,
right.
Blah, blah,
and majority of my teammates lived in the dorm, and you know dorm rooms be having they restricted rules and shit. And you in an apartment, let alone a certain apartment, they don't give a fuck about you smoking, let alone in your apartment. So I think he realized like, you know, I ain't that bad of company. I guess so. That's what I'm like. I ain't that bad of company. I guess I'm cool enough to kick it with and smoke with. Cause he come to our apartment, and like I said, he bring the weed, smoke us out, and we just be kicking it and chilling. And it got to a point where he
on the 2K, nigga.
He be on the 2K, watch movies, watch TV shows. It don't matter. We just be kicking it. If we ain't going to the rec center playing ball, got practice or anything involved basketball, we have to
or school,
whatever, nigga. We at the spot smoking weed. And I had another teammate. Now this was one teammate I did kind of fuck with. It was a lot fucking with this nigga because this nigga was just on the go. Like this nigga like non-stop moving. Like this nigga was a hustler and playing basketball. So shout out to this teammate. Like he lived upstairs. Every morning it was faithful. Like this nigga hit me up. You trying to go get the weed? You trying to get the shit, baby? Woo, woo, woo. Nigga, let's go. Nigga, I remember one time I went to go get this shit. I told him I ain't got that much gas, bro. We may not fuck around and make it. Nigga, we made it back. That shit was so funny. We was driving, and I had to drive like a cool man. Like I said, I knew I wasn't gonna make it back, but we ended up making it through the grace of God, nigga. I'm driving back with literally zero. It says 0 miles, but it calculates like takes down by 5. So I could have had like a mile or 2 left or some shit like that. But that day, that shit was crazy, and that's when I realized, man, this nigga gonna one day burn me out of gas, nigga. He gonna put gas in my car, nigga. Cause that's another thing too. I wasn't the type of nigga to be like, you got gas money, because I'm getting involved in it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to smoke, so I'm not finna tell the nigga to give me gas money. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not I'm just not that type of nigga. Some niggas be like, nigga, fuck that nigga. You still giving me gas money and you gonna smoke me out. Like, I wasn't that type of nigga. Like, you gonna smoke me out? Cool. The only way you gonna get your shit and the way we smoking is if I drive. And if you smoking me out, nigga, that's what's up, nigga. I'll drive. Most of the time, I wasn't going nowhere any fucking way anyway. So when I did have them low gases, because the days before, nigga, we was going out getting weed, going out getting weed, going out getting weed. So that day when I didn't have gas, nigga, it was like shit. We was doing a lot of getting weed and smoking weed during the week, but it is what it is, though. Like I said, to continue the story, though, smoking this weed, man, it's been the shit since that college time, man. It's leading up to this point. And when it came to the smoking weed, getting on the why smoke, let alone why smoke so much. I told y'all why. I told y'all for me, it was just to block my mind from the bullshit during that time. A lot of stress and anxiety going on through them periods, and smoking weed was calming me down. So that was my feeling back then on smoking.
But
weed.
even I'm gonna explain why on the now I smoke weed the way I do, and I'm gonna explain why I smoked the way I did back then too. Cause back then I was smoking that too. I was smoking away just so that I ain't gotta like really like get with like all the bullshit. I can block that out. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really smoking back then for those times and stuff like that, and let alone like really like mellow me out and shit like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, the reason why I really smoke weed now and what I kind of understanding on why I need weed and why I smoke weed is because me personally, I got mad anxiety. I got, littlest things, little pressure points, you know what I'm saying? Like little buttons that can get hit real easy. And
my temper can come up and down like a roller coaster. And sometimes, for me personally, I don't like feeling like that. And I try to find other ways to cope with it. You know what I'm saying? I really do. For ones, that don't, that is in my life and feel like I don't, whatever. I don't really. It's not you. It's just me. So I try to find ways that's gonna cope and help with me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever works for other people to cope, that's for them. It ain't gonna be for me. But what I try to do is I'll try to, meditate, watch some TV, watch some shit I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? I'll play the video game without the weed sometime. I'll probably doodle on my phone for some bullshit for just to pass some time. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably
Go outside, get some fresh air.
Go outside, get some fresh air. You know what I'm saying? Take a nap. You know what I'm saying? Just to refresh the brain. Anything. But I know I still got to get through the day. Man. And I always feel like to myself to where I came down to this point to where I'm like, if I can just get some smoke by at least the beginning, middle, or end of the day, and I can try to, piece it in together, I'm going to be straight. Because I know them days when I didn't have weed when I didn't have weed, it was like, damn, I'm really trying to find a way to keep my mind off of this shit, keep myself going. And like, we can do the YouTube, we can do this, but it's like, nigga, like, we incorporate the smoke in with it. So it's just like, that's what the channel is incorporated with. Like, we bring a vibe with it when we smoke to this channel. So that's just how we personally feel.
I convinced myself, I bullshit you not. A while after playing ball, it was like after Pierce. Because during Pierce, after my sophomore year at CSUN, I got kicked off the team, like I said, and went to Pierce to play ball there. Damn near on the verge of a lot of mental shit. So smoking weed, I convinced myself to feel like it kept my sanity in balance. Because I just felt like if I can mellow myself out, slow myself down and slow down my brain a little bit, it'll, put some type of balance to my sanity. Because, when you personally going through shit, everybody reacts to their shit different. So for me, it felt like I was on the verge of a lot of mental, shit. And smoking this weed kept my sanity to feeling like, just take a deep breath type shit. And even though I smoked all day, it kept me level-headed all the time. It kept me level-headed, especially when I started working. Because when I started working, I felt...
Working with a nigga I must need.
Working, I felt so damn depressed working at a job because I'm like, one, I don't want to do this. I'm being damn near forced to do this because niggas need a paycheck. And you can always say, well, go get a job you want to work at. Cool. You know how many times niggas done that and ain't got the job? So
multiple times.
You're gonna get to a point where it's like, fuck it, I'll take any job. So now you taking bullshit ass jobs so you can get a paycheck and you living day to day with this job, stressed out, depressed, because you just doing this just to keep money in your pocket. You're not necessarily thinking about saving or building or trying to get the fuck out because you trying to do what you want to do to get you out. You don't want to make this job your reason to get out because then you're going to find yourself stuck there for 10, 15 years and you like, nah, I ain't never going to be able to pursue my dream. Now it may be too late to pursue my dream, man. Say what you want. Sometimes it is too late. Depending on what you're pursuing in life, sometimes it is a little too late to pursue that. Especially the accomplishment you're trying to get. It's just, how the world works sometimes, man. It's just politics, an image, power and position, connections. That's just how it is. And sometimes your dreams can get shattered based off that shit. So you gotta stay in reality and you gotta always have a plan B, C, D, and AFG. But I'm not the type of nigga to do that. You know why? Because the moment you start having all these plans, you start losing focus on the first plan. I had a plan A, go pro, didn't work out. I don't have no plan B or C. You know why? Because I'm about to come up with the next plan A. I'm focused on one thing and one thing only. Y'all can live with that mindset if you want. I'm not that type of person. So
There's no shame to people that do that.
And it ain't. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm just letting y'all know
what works for you.
What works for me and who I am.
Works for you. Whatever works for bro, works for bro. Whatever works for me, works for me. So everybody gotta find what works for them, basically.
So smoking weed became it for me. whole family and people used to be like, why y'all smoke so much weed? Why do you feel like you need to smoke weed? Why do you feel like you need to smoke so much weed? And it was hard to explain when you really tell them, like, because I feel just simply balanced. Like, I can go to work and do my job high as fuck because I'm cool. Like, I'm here to just do this job. I'm high as fuck. I'm mellowed out, whatever. Nigga, I'm doing my shit and I'm out. Like, ain't nobody, like, really trying to be that employee of the month type motherfucker. Like, I'm really working this job because I need a fucking paycheck. I damn near say that to every interview. Like, and this paycheck damn near going to the weed. So,
Bills and shit like that.
little bills that I have to pay, whatever. So, it was that, nigga. And when I got my opportunity to play basketball again, came back out here to Cali because I went to Arizona after Pierce and to go work and shit. And then I came back out here to come play ball again, and I'm still smoking weed. So it got to a point, like I said, in college, my first year at CSUN, smoking weed was it. Kept me stress free. My anxiety was always low. My sanity felt balanced. Like I felt cool. Felt cool. Like just straight up.
Yeah, man. Like this smoke.
And financially, when you smoke the amount of weed that we do and desire for the weed that we do, financially, it can fuck you up. It can fuck you up financially. And funny thing, financially, we still fuck, but
Niggas done found a way to smoke as much as they want to.
niggas have found ways. I'm gonna tell y'all something funny though. Throughout all these years of smoking weed, there is one person who would literally be like, here's some money so you can get you some weed. Our Nana. I bullshit y'all not. I came here and my Nana was like, I know how smoking weed is important to you, but I can't afford your weed habit, but I'm gonna do the best that I can to make sure that you got your weed. I ain't gonna front. That felt better than getting a scholarship. That felt better than getting a scholarship. She said, you gonna help make sure I got my weed whenever I can. That's what's up right there. So, yeah, that's where we at now. We smoking weed, let alone we smoke a lot of weed. Let me show y'all the amount of blunts we done rolled up, if y'all can see. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I can really be playful with this shit, but this is damn near like some life serious shit. You know what I mean? Like, if we had all the money in the world, which at one point we did, we just smoke weed. Smoke weed and do what they do.
You smoke weed, man, and you still got goals and desires. Don't let the weed shit affect you.
And don't let other motherfuckers tell you that this weed shit is affecting you because it's you and they not you. And if this is helping you, then you do what helps you. People drink, people smoke. I don't know anything else to say at this point about this smoking weed shit. But I just hope after y'all viewing and hearing what we have to say, y'all understand to some point on this smoking weed is important to us, man. Like, I'm talking about money come through, this going to the weed, and this is going towards whatever is important that we need to do with the money. Niggas need to smoke a weed. And when we ain't got weed, man, them days can be tough, man. Like, last few days ago, maybe last few days ago, man, that shit was rough. Like, no smoke. Like, you know when you really trying to smoke, nigga, you going to every place you been that you smoke and see if you can find a roach. Smoke the roach, untake the roach and make a whole new blunt out of the roaches. I mean, like, you just find a way to smoke. And smoking this weed is no joke if you really fuck with this shit. Like, niggas want to smoke, niggas gotta smoke, and niggas need to smoke.
Now, while we smoke blunts, like I I said, I done smoked papers, I done smoked through the apples and the bongs and all that shit. I even done dabs and all that. What I found out is that it don't get you the high like a blunt. Now, you can say it's the nicotine in there, the tobacco thing in there. You can say whatever you want. True or not, mostly true. But it don't do nothing better for like the feeling when you putting weed in a blunt versus a paper. In my opinion, I think he can agree, is the feeling that you get. Like, I can probably smoke I can probably smoke the paper that come like 32 leaves. I can probably, because we got all these blunts right here rolled up, because we got all this right here rolled up, I can probably take this weed and roll it up in all the papers, and I'm gonna still have a lot left over. But one thing I know is, if I smoke all these, I'm not gonna get as high as I do with the blunt. And I can smoke blunts all day, so I know I can smoke papers all day. Now, people say they smoke papers because it's a cleaner high. You can actually taste the weed. You ain't gotta worry about the tobacco taste or the nicotine, whatever, blah blah blah. Wherever your opinion, your case may be as far as when it comes to smoking papers. But when it comes to the blunt people, I think people will understand that the effect that you get just smoking a blunt, even just one blunt. Niggas can't even finish a whole blunt, but I guarantee you get a paper, get a joint, you'll be able to finish a joint. You won't be able to finish a blunt. You'll probably be able, it's crazy. My times with smoking, I've been around so many people that be like, damn nigga, you can face that many blunts, nigga. Like, yeah, nigga, like, it's really not that hard. Like, if you really smoke weed, like, it wouldn't really be that difficult. But for people that smoke weed but don't smoke weed, yeah,
I remember being around some people that
they'll hit the blunt and get to like half of the blunt, like right here, and put it down and be like, I'm probably say that for like later on. Niggas be like, finish that, nigga. What the hell? I'm gonna leave it there, nigga.
gotta finish that.
You better finish it. Oh man. But yeah, smoking blunts is.
And you can't smoke with everybody.
Yeah, when
I
it
think
comes to
that's what I was
smoking,
ready to smoke. That's what I was going to say.
that's another thing too. When it comes to smoking weed, you can't smoke with everybody because some people are weirdos.
Some people are weirdos. Some people take
kill the
advantage.
vibe, nigga. Some people take advantage of you when you
especially
do that
kill the
weed.
vibe. Like,
So,
they just not good company
It's not
around
good
when you
weed.
realize it when you high. Like,
Yeah, when you high, you be like-
you ever been in a smoke session and you smoking weed and you really high, you looking at the people you smoking, you like, you realizing even though we ain't really doing shit, just the energy, like, y'all not good company when y'all high, when I'm high. Like, I can't be around y'all niggas when I'm high type shit. Like, y'all not good company, just the energy in this room.
man,
It's like everybody's here but not here type shit. Like, no one's in sync with each other. It's like everybody's in their own high ass world.
you know what I'm saying?
But there's nothing towards them. It's just you gotta just move yourself away from that shit. You're trying to have a good time when you getting high. And most of the time, I like to have a good time while I'm getting high. And I can have a good time getting high by myself. So
I'll hog some shit to myself. Nigga.
I'll definitely.
I'll tell them you can get your own shit.
And that's the thing.
This is for me, nigga.
And how about this? And how about this? How about this?
Me.
This is another thing too. We smoke so much weed.
I don't know what you talking about.
We smoke so much weed, man. I remember we used to have talks and be like, yo, when we able to get our own shit, watch how many people stop coming around. Nobody comes around now. We don't invite nobody because we realize that one, we can smoke by ourselves and have good and be straight. Cause one, we can buy it and smoke it ourselves, roll it up ourselves, and be straight by ourselves. We realized that. But when we came together and we started smoking, it was like a better time. Rehearse again?
Yeah. It's all good though. But yeah, it just got good times, man. It was just good times.
So I smoke only with my brother. I wouldn't say I ain't gonna say
Get
that.
it this time?
Yeah, I'll get it, but hold on, I'll be back.
said, it was good times. It's good times, man, but you gotta be careful who you smoke with, who you get yourself involved with when it comes to smoking weed. There's shady people out there, you know, there's grimy people out there, you know, there's weirdo, like I just said, you know, people that will kill the vibe, whatever. But when it comes to smoking weed, you definitely want to find good company, you know what I'm saying? If you do got good company, you know, shouts out to you know what I'm saying? If you got a cool ass posse, you be kicking it with, you know, you got your group of ladies, you know what I'm saying? Y'all kick it with, smoke wild. Shouts out to you know what I'm saying? But, you know, for me and bro, it came down to a point where it's like, you know, it's no discouraging people, you know what I'm saying? Fuck with people. It's just, can't really trust people nowadays, you know what I'm saying? I love people. It's hard to trust people nowadays, you know? So, you know, you could be cool with people, you know what I'm saying? You always want to be cool because you want cool to giving back. Give respect, giving back type, you feel me? So, you definitely want to bring that into your life. And rather you smoking weed or not, you want good vibe, you want good people, you want good company, you want people that's going to motivate you, encourage you, inspire you, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. You don't want nobody that, you know, that's going to talk down upon you or feel you or give you negative energy or make you feel less than what you are, or, you know, just try to put you down, because, you know, life is going to do that enough. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need people that's going to encourage you. You know what I'm saying? You can't ever do things by yourself. That's why me and bro connected. You know what I'm saying? I can't do things alone. He can't do things alone. We can't do things together sometimes. So we got to go and search. So I'm saying we put the power of two together. You get pot. How about that? You get pot. P-O-T. Power of two with weed. I love smoking weed, but I never let it affect me of what I want to do in life. When it came to music, when it came to sports, I chose to stop playing sports. My last sport I played was football, and I honestly stopped playing because I felt like I was trying to get my pop's attention just because he played football. That ain't the way to go. You feel me? That ain't the way to go. You gotta do what makes you happy. And once I chose the music, I felt a little more free to voice myself. And that's when, you know what I'm saying, even within the weed smoking, doing music, man, I was getting my shit done, writing, recording, you know what I'm saying, putting my shit together within the weed, you know what I'm saying, going back and forth downstairs because I couldn't smoke in my mom's crib, so I was going back in and out, nigga, within the weed, upstairs, back down, up, down, so with YouTube, nigga, it don't matter, nigga, we gonna flood these videos, we gonna try to be as entertaining as we be, but we ain't gonna be who we not, you know what I'm saying, we gonna stay who we are, you know what I mean? You gotta be yourself. You gotta be yourself. And don't be afraid to be yourself. If you extra out, be extra out. You know what I'm saying? Some people may not like it, some people may love it. You know what I'm saying? If you cool, mellow, you know what I'm saying? You have your days where you may be uppity, you gonna have your days where you be down, you know what I'm saying? Be that. Be that. Feel me? Don't feel no type of way about whatever you do in life, nigga. Even if you do anything besides weed, you know what I'm saying? You do anything else that make you feel like this is what puts me in the right space. You feel me? Like whatever, you know, to each his own. To each his own. You feel me? Don't let nobody tell you no different. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, they not you. You know what I'm saying? I was just telling the people, man, you be you, you know what I'm saying? Rather you smoke weed or not, man. And I feel like I was telling within, like, how within the people, you know, we love people. It's just you can't trust people a lot nowadays. And I was telling them, we love the people. It's just hard to trust. You know what I'm saying? But you want to give respect to get respect. Say that all the time. See that in the last couple of videos.
Show love to try to get love back.
On me.
But you get none of them. But if you don't receive none of them back once you initiate it, then hey, man, you already know what's up.
You know what's up. But hey, Y'all know what's up with weed now, obviously. We done gave y'all damn near an hour of this shit, letting y'all know how important this weed shit is to us, explaining it, breaking it down, giving you a story time of this shit, and you know how it all got started with us. And again, at the end of the day, smoking weed or not, don't let it affect what you want to get out of life. Rather if you working a job or not, rather if you hustling or not, rather if you in the house doing your shit, you know what I'm saying? Getting your shit off the ground in the house, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Don't let anything affect you. People, weed, drinking, women, for the women, dudes, money, because money ain't everything. You can't take it with you, you know what I'm saying?
Can't even take the weed with you.
You can't even take the weed with you, so you enjoy every little bit of what you like and, you know,
What gives you joy throughout the
what
day.
gives you joy throughout the day. You enjoy that and you do that. Simple as that. Twiinz, we are out of here. Y'all stay tuned.